You're live.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the public hearing on the proposed bylaw that deals with restrictions around feeding wildlife. This is the opportunity that the Municipal Government Act requires councils to provide to citizens to ensure that they have an opportunity to participate between the first and the second reading of a proposed bylaw. Clerk, are you going to walk us through the things that have happened to date and what's going to happen now, please?
I'm happy to do that, Your Worship. Did you want to start with the land acknowledgement first, or do you want me to just jump in?
We can do that now. I was keeping it in reserve until we got to the actual council meeting, but there's no reason why we can't do it both. So we will begin by acknowledging that we are gathered today in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral, present, and future territory of the Mi'kma'ki people. Today we gather with the intent followed by the living peace and friendship treaties with respect, cooperation, and coexistence, and we are thankful for that. Please, Clerk.
Thank you, Your Worship. The purpose of this hearing is to receive verbal and written submissions regarding the draft Town of Mahone Bay Wildlife Feeding Bylaw, which was given first reading at the regular council meeting on May 11th, 2021. A public hearing was set for June 8th, 2021, and the information on the public hearing and draft bylaw were posted on the town's bulletin board at the post office, on the town's website, the town's Facebook page, and included in the June 2021 mayor's newsletter. An advertisement was also placed in the progress bulletin on May 19th, 2021. To this point, council comments submitted to the public hearing were forwarded to council on Monday evening. Those comments were from John Bain, Christopher Gill, Varian Hasten, and Lloyd Westaver. Since that time, no further submissions have been received.
Okay, thank you.
We have no one joining us this evening for the session, and it doesn't look like we have anyone online with us at this point.
Okay.
So we are required to leave the hearing open for at least 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah. And we did not have anyone approach Town Hall about speaking tonight at this event?
We had a couple of questions, but both people decided not to.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we wait for our 15 minutes. Deputy Mayor Kangata.
I just wanted to add that we did also receive feedback from Lara Carrigan. So I guess it's part of the public record. She did give us something.
You are quite right, Deputy Mayor. And I'm not sure that's entirely I don't even know how I did that because I had it ready. So let me find that and I will read it into the record. She submitted something that was, I thought, on the agenda for the regular council meeting this evening, and then there was something else for this public hearing. So we were just going to read out that piece that had to do with the bylaw. Okay, I've found it. I'll read it into the record then.
Yes,
Mayor
please.
Devaney and Town Council, first of all, thank you for asking for feedback from the residents of Mahone Bay in regard to the draft of the wildlife feeding bylaw. I am not a proponent of this bylaw as I think it is too broad. I would be inclined to support a bylaw if it were specific to feeding deer, but not one that pertains to birds and waterfowl. Many of our residents take great pleasure from feeding wild birds in their properties on their properties and in the parks. This is a very simple pleasure and one that should not be restricted as long as no harm is done to the birds. Furthermore, to oversee and enforce this bylaw could be costly for town staff and takes time away from other important issues. Please reconsider this bylaw as it is written. And those were the entirety of her remarks pertaining to this bylaw. Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Kangata.
Thank you, Clerk.
Well, Mo, I hope nobody's joining us in progress for this. They're going to really wonder what's going on.
Well, we now have 9 people watching. So,
Oh, look at that.
yeah. See, blunders on YouTube, they go viral. Look at us.
Presumably, folks like myself who are subscribed, I don't know. When you are subscribed, your phone pops up an alert that says the town has gone live on YouTube. So you might just suddenly think, well, you know, maybe I'll check that out. It's always how I know when we're recording anyway, because it also pops up on my phone.
Are people who are watching able to post anything in chat? Is that
Yes, Mayor.
is that feature is available?
Yeah, and it was included in our update today that said you can do that. So
Right. Okay.
still nothing. I'm keeping an eye on it.
Is there a regular 5-minute recap of what's going on? Because somebody joins in after you've already stated what we've stated. We'll probably wonder, what are these guys just sitting there doing nothing, waiting for?
We're waiting.
Does anybody have a favorite poem?
Yeah, probably more has many.
Anybody that doesn't know, the pop-up testing is in Bridgewater again this week, so go get your tests.
Yeah, the latest recommendation is that one should be tested and tested frequently. Don't rely on the fact that you had a test and it was negative or you had your first vaccination. Quite often, the only way to tell if you have an issue is through the testing. And for all the time it takes, You're looking at what, maybe 5 minutes. It takes longer to get in and do the paperwork than it does to do the test. And the last one I had, I got it at 11 o'clock in the morning. And when I arose the next morning, the answer was on my email. So consider going again.
Yeah, and with the rapid testing, you usually hear within 45 to 50 minutes.
Yes, for that one. Yeah.
But it's only good for that day. So if you tested negative that day, doesn't mean you're not going to test positive the next.
Well,
It's the same with any of them, though.
to open the door to the over 70 crowd for the second vaccination to go get in the lineup.
I've already got my second one, so.
Yeah, but you're special.
Just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Who's this from?
Is that for first responders, Richard?
No, I was working at the vaccine clinic, and they had extra doses, so they didn't want to throw them out. So I said, "Well, if you can give second ones, I'll take mine."
Good idea. You should have called us. We all could have come over.
So
Rather than see it go to waste.
yeah, so Kathy and I both got ours that day. So I don't know. They didn't end up throwing any out. So that was the idea.
I think they only did 4,500 shots yesterday across the province.
Did you see a number for today?
No, I'm hoping it's quadruple of what it was yesterday.
No, I mean the number of new ones. I
Oh,
haven't
no.
heard one of those either.
The new cases in this today was 17.
It was a 14 yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's down to 171 or something like that cases in the province now, I think.
Yeah.
We need to wait a little bit to see if there's anything from last weekend, I suppose. It was a busy weekend. It was the first time people were really allowed to get around. So if there was going to be a spike, it would probably follow that.
The fourth wave is hovering offshore, just waiting to jump in.
But at over 60% having the first time vaccination, I think Nova Scotia's catching up to some of the more vaccinated jurisdictions now.
Yeah. Okay, 6:45, another 5 minutes. Mhm.
I was just thinking how interesting it would be if we all met, as in, ancient Greece or something, outside on a rotunda somewhere, well distanced. Maybe we couldn't hear each other though above the waves.
It sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
We'll have
Too
council
late to
meeting
put-
down to the government wharf around where Carl and John Bain go to hang out every day.
It's the
That's
Mahone
where-
Bay UN group down there.
That's right.
The council at the bandstand wouldn't be unheard of. We actually did council a couple times every summer at the Guildhall in Shelburne on the waterfront, outdoors,
Nice.
with our papers blowing around. It was nice. It was kind of fun to do.
Hmm.
We could pack the stands, Dylan. The spectators would be plentiful.
Yeah. As long as they
Maybe
don't
get a
expect us,
musical act out to accompany
I
us.
was
or
gonna
something.
say, as long as they don't
Yeah.
expect us to sing, we'll be okay. Okay, that's it. It's 10 to 7, 6:50. We've now been 15 minutes. Clerk, is there anyone in the wings?
There are no further comments, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you. Then Councillor Carver.
Like to make a motion to adjourn the hearing.
Okay,
We
Yeah.
actually, the mayor will just close the hearing.
hearing, yeah.
Thank you, though.
Oh, it says motion to adjourn on the,
I'm very
agenda.
sorry.
okay.
Not on my game tonight. I apologize.
I thought I was stepping right up there and
You were,
through
I
it.
wasn't.
Clerk only made one
Just
other
trying to get ahead of the
mistake,
game.
Councillor Carver. She thought she was wrong, but she was really right, so. And she's sticking to that story. Okay, we will close the public. Councillor Wilson,
I just wanted a second, just to make it semi-official.
okay? It's moved and seconded, but not to be voted upon, but we will close the public hearing on the bylaw on wildlife feeding. And at 7 p.m., we will open the council meeting. Okay?
Good
See
enough.
you
See
in
you all in 10.
9 minutes.
On a
8.5
different channel,
minutes or
right?
so.
Yeah, different channel.
Different invite.
That's right, different